Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick video showing how I do my journaling on clear sticker paper to go onto my journaling cards. And just an FYI, this was requested by a few people who have watched my YouTube channels and left some comments. So if you ever want me to do any types of videos, or if you ever have any questions, I do read the comments, every single comment that's left on my YouTube videos. So if you ever want me to do anything, just let me know. Otherwise, I assume you guys don't have questions. So thanks for those who had asked that question about how I use my clear sticker paper for journaling. So this one here is the one that I've been using first. So I got this one first. This is from Neato Labels, and you can get them on Amazon or through their website. And this is a glossy clear sticker paper. And you can see that it is indeed glossy. And I'll try to include some photos showing how it's glossy as well. But it is very clear. And this is one that I just recently got. This is the Maco brand, and I believe you can get this on Amazon as well as on their site as well. And this one is actually matte. So you can see that there is no gloss on that. And just an FYI, these are both good for both laser and inkjet printers. And that is important to me because I do have the two printers, and the inkjet printers can print with color. So if you wanted to print in color, then those are good. And the laser printers print with toner. So I'm going to try to foil with this printing it in a laser printer a bit later on in this video. But the way that I like to use these sticker papers is they just come in sheets of 8.5 by 11, like so, and they come with the backer. So this one is kind of the same. It does have a backer. This one does have lines, like the cut lines on the backer, so that they are a bit easier to peel. You can see that there. And the needle one does not. So in case you have a hard time peeling things, you might want to go with this one instead. For me, I just tend to use my tweezers to get between the sticker paper and the backing, and that works very well for me. So you can give that a try if you like as well. And another thing that I noticed is that the Maco one is archival. Now, where does it say that? Yes, here. So it says it's acid-free, it's safe for archiving. And the needle one does not say that. So I've looked on their website as well, and nowhere does it say it's archival or acid-free. So if you care about that, then that's definitely something that you might want to know. But pretty much I just cut these down to 4x6 sizes because I tend to print mostly on 4x6 pocket cards or 3x4 pocket cards. So the way I get the most amounts of 4x6 is from this one 8.5 by 11 inch piece of sticker paper is I cut it down at 4 inches first. Then I cut this down to 6 inches. So there's one. And then this one here, I'll cut down to 6 inches. And then I'll cut this down to 4 inches and 4 inches. And that way I get 3 from one piece. And I do save these little tiny pieces just in case I need them for, like, if you need tape. And you're too lazy to get tape, then you can peel this off, and that's can be used as tape. Or I've used them for other things in the past as well. Just to note that the very last one that you cut from the Maco will not have that backer that's cut. So like this one has a piece where it's cut, so it's easier to peel. This one does as well right here. but that third piece will not. Like this whole thing is full, so you will have to use your tweezers to try to get between that, which I haven't found problems with that, but just an FYI for that. So now I'm going to clear my desk and I'm going to bring in my laptop because I do want to do some journaling on these cards, and I will show you how I do that. So here I've just laid my Surface Pro down with the keyboard still attached to it because I do want to show you guys something that you can do to type into, especially these journaling cards with the lines on them. So I wanted to capture me with the cards physically, as well as typing on this Microsoft Word document. So that's why I'm not doing like a screen share or something like that. So here I have a Word doc. This is 8.5 inches by 11 inches. And I'm just going to change this now to a 4x6 size. So my Word document has a 4x6 here that I can select. If yours doesn't, then you can go to more paper sizes and just edit that here, like put 4 inches and 6 inches, or however much your sticker paper is cut down to. So where was I? Right. So you go to layout and you go to size, and I select the 4x6. So I'm going to change this to a landscape orientation because I want to fit 2 journaling cards worth of journaling on there. I don't know if you can see my screen actually. Let me just, I might have to make it not as bright. There we go. And you can, of course, do like a full 4x6 journaling card as well. So we're going to do this card first. This is the Good Friends, Good Times. So this card, it's from the Ali Edwards Friends Story Kit, and her cards tend to be a bit more narrow than 3 inches, and it's about 4 inches tall. But I'm going to type in this area here that's surrounded by that blue line. So this is approximately 2 3/4 inches by 3 inches. So I'm going to go and insert a text box. Just simple text box is fine. And here I can change the dimensions. What did I say? 2 3/4 inches by 3 inches. There we go. The font that I like to use for my journaling is Courier New. So if you go to Home, you can change the font to Courier New. And I like to use size 11 for most of my pocket cards. So I'm just going to do my typing here. So you can see that the font is a bit too big for my text box, as in like I can't, there's more text down here and I don't want to make it longer because then it would go down to here. So I'm just going to select all of the text and make it a bit smaller. So if you didn't know, you can press these 2 buttons right up here to decrease your font sizes if you want. But I actually want mine to be 10.5 point so that it fills up the space a bit more. Another thing as well is that I have this floral element in the corner of my journaling card, and I don't want there to be any typing with that. So the way that I'm going to kind of eyeball how close or how many of these words I need to shift down to those bottom lines is I'm just going to zoom in on my screen. You can do this by hitting the control button and scrolling up here. Or I think there's another way to zoom in somewhere else too from this screen. You might have to look it up depending on what version your Microsoft Word is. But I'm just going to zoom in so that this 4x6 here matches the 4x6 size on this. So I know this is 4 inches, And if you lay it down, you can see that this document now is approximately 4 inches tall. There you go. So you can see that I can drag this down. And this is approximately where that journaling is going to land on my journaling card. So I'm just going to bring this floral bit here, and I can see that I'm going to have to start leaving some space here, starting from this third bottom line. So I'm just going to come here, hit enter, come here, hit enter, and that should leave just enough room for this floral piece to sit right there. The next thing that I want to do is, if I print this out on the clear sticker paper, it will have a black border around it. And you might like that, but I personally like to remove all of the borders on my journaling pieces before I print them out. So the way I do that is I go to Shape Format, and then I go to Shape Outline, and I say No Outline. No outline. So that gets rid of that. And so when I print, it will look like that. And then I can cut around, because I know that the journaling is 2 3/4 of an inch wide by 3 inches tall. I can just cut that with my paper trimmer, and I'll know that this is the right size to fit into that box. So the next thing I want to tackle is how to get journaling onto cards with lines on them. So if I were to put this journaling on here, for example, you'll see that the lines don't really line up with where the lines are physically on this card. So first I'm going to do my typing out as usual. So I will go to Insert, Text Box, Simple Text Box. And this one here, I'm going to measure from this red line to the edge of the card, because I don't want there to be any typing on this side. So that's about 2 3/4 of an inch. And then I don't want to measure this part here either, or the part above this line. So that's 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so now this is another place that you can change the text font. Is sometimes there's like a pop-up that pops up there. It's not very consistent for me, or if you right click it as well, that will come up. So I'll change this to Courier New. We'll do size 11 for now. And I'm going to start, oopsies, I'm going to start typing again. So there's my typing done. I want to change the indent on this card so that I don't have as much space over here. So I'm just going to drag this arrow. Oops. There we go. And now we're going to change the spacing on this journaling block so that the spacing is consistent with the spacing in this card here. So we're going to highlight all the text again, right click, and I'm going to go down to paragraph. In here you can see you can change the spacing before and after and the line spacing. I usually just like to change the line spacing, and you can either go 1.5 lines double, or you can type in here what do you want the custom measurement to be. Now depending on your font size and depending on your font size and the font that you're using, this will be different because all of the fonts are like a different height. So you'll just have to play around with this. So I'm going to start at maybe 1.5 and see where that lands me. So you can see that this is more condensed than this is. Like I need this to be a bit more spaced out. So I might just have to decrease the font size on this as well. Let's try 9. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in and space this out a bit more. Let's try 2. And you can see that each of these lines is now kind of centered between the 2 lines on the journaling card. Like so. I kind of want to add some more to this because I don't like the fact that the week is the only word on that line. And then, like before, I'm going to remove the outline from this. So another way that you can do it if you don't want to go to the shape format is you can also right-click this. And then here you can click on the outline and just say no outline. So I'm just going to print this out on my sticker paper. We'll try the matte sticker paper as well as the clear sticker paper, and I'll show you guys the differences. So I'm going to go File, Print. I don't currently have a printer attached to this, so I'm going to have to take this off screen and attach it to my printer. But you want to make sure that when you go to printer properties and on your printer as well, I usually go with glossy paper for the glossy labels, and I go black and white. So I will be right back once I've printed these out. Alright, so I have my 2 different types of sticker paper with the journaling printed out. So this one's the Neato one. You can see that it's glossy. And this one is the Maco one. You can see that it is matte. So another thing that I've tried out is I'm just rubbing these and the ink is not coming off at all. Now I haven't tried like, you know, getting them wet or getting alcohol on them or anything like that. Keeping in mind that these are going to be going into your scrapbooks and you're probably not going to get the pages wet. So for my purposes, I feel like the ink is staying on just fine. And we're going to try one of them on one of the journaling cards and the other one on the other journaling card. So what do I have here? All right, so this one is the Maco one, and I've just cut it down to size. I'm going to leave this part here without cutting it because I feel like it creates a bit more of a seamless card if you can cover up all of that area inside. And it's not an exact match, but I think I will just leave it like that. And I've also cut away the portion where I can peel off the backing where it's split. So I'm going to have to use my tweezers for that. And that came off pretty easily. Now I'm just going to position this where I want that to go. So you can see that that is adhered onto there pretty well. And I always like to burnish these down so that they appear a bit less cloudy on the card as well. And the one thing about this journaling piece that I did was I kind of typed a bit too close to these lines, so I probably should have done a text box that was 2 and maybe 2.5 inches instead of 2 3/4 of an inch wide. And that would have avoided me getting the text that close to those lines. And here I'm just tilting the paper in the light to see where I still have some air bubbles so that I can just burnish this down. If you've ever put on some clear protectors for your phones, I'm sure you're familiar with this process as well, getting out all the air bubbles. So that's pretty good. And I'll have to say it looks quite seamless as well. Like I can't really tell where the sticker paper begins and where it ends. And part of it is because I went all the way up to that line up top. And then I made the sticker paper the same size as this box in general, but you can see how I kind of mostly avoided that floral element there. I do still have the G going into that, but I think that turned out pretty well. This one I will save to do some testing and just to see how clear this is. And then I'm going to use this journaling for this journaling card, and this is the glossy one. So this one here, at least from my eye, you can definitely see a clear distinction between where that sticker paper starts and where the journaling card starts. You can see there and there. So now I was just going to take these 2 remaining pieces and try sticking them on some paper. So this could be pattern paper, this could be some mixed media paper if you do mixed media. I was just doing some kind of watercolor-y experimentation here, and I don't think I am going to use these. So I'm just going to put these on and see how clear they turn out to be. So this one here, which is the Maco, definitely seems a bit more seamless. I can still tell where the sticker page is, like here, along this edge here, and along this edge here, but definitely a bit less noticeable than this one here, where you can see exactly where that sticker paper ends and begins. One application I think would be really handy for the glossy one is to apply that over photos. So if you print out your photos and you maybe wanted to add some journaling to it, but then forgot, you can always print out some on some clear sticker paper. And if your photo is glossy, then I would definitely suggest the glossy one. But otherwise, I think this Maco matte one works really well in journaling cards. I'm very impressed with how that turned out. I just wanted to share, this is an example that I did with the clear sticker paper on some on one of my photos, and this photo is glossy and so is the sticker paper. So you can see that it's kind of more seamless there. So that's definitely a scenario where I would use the glossy sticker paper instead of the matte one. And I also wanted to show you that I just noticed that if you have, for example, this one I've been burnishing it down, if you have any scratches in the glossy one, it shows up a lot more. I don't know if you guys can see right there. There are some scratch marks. And you can't see any of those in the matte sticker paper. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. All right, so today I'm trying to print on the clear sticker papers with toner ink. So this is using my laser printer. And as you can see, it's kind of curved up a bit, which didn't happen with my Inkjet printer. but it did still print on it just fine. This is the Neato brand, as you can see from the gloss. And I'm rubbing it, and it's not coming off, which is quite impressive, I think, for clear sticker paper that's a bit glossy. So that's impressive. And this one is the Maco, and I'm rubbing it, and it's not coming off. You can see that I accidentally put in this particular sheet upside down, and this is why it's on the back of this sticker paper as well as on the front. So just ignore that for now. And the reason why I wanted to print these quotes on clear sticker paper with toner ink is because I want to try to foil with these. And that's why I have my trusty laminator here. This is the Royal Sovereign laminator, and it works in the same way as like the Heidi Swap Mink machine. This is just a whole lot cheaper, so that's why I use that. And you can see that you can foil on just regular paper as well. This is one of the quotes that came in the Ali Edwards Week in Life 2021 Prep Day kit. There are a couple of spots here that didn't get foiled, but I'm overall really happy with how that turned out. And this was just, I had printed on some just white cardstock using the toner ink. You have to use toner ink. And the way it works is the ink will melt and stick to the foil sheets, and that way it melts and sticks just to where you have the printed words. And that's how I got the foil on this one. So let's try and see if it works with these ones here. So here I have, this one is from I think it was from December Daily of last year, the prep party, as is this one. And this one here is from, I think, also Week in the Life from this year. So I'm just going to cut this off because I want this one here to be gold, and I want these two to be silver because I was planning on putting these into my December Daily albums from last year if this works. Let's cross our fingers. So the way you do foiling is you just have to position your foil over the part where you have the typing, and this is shiny side facing up. So the pretty side facing up and the dull looking side facing down. And in order to run this through the laminator, you do need a carrier sheet so that it doesn't get all caught up in there. So I just have a piece of printer paper folded over. I'm just lifting this up to make sure that all of my words are covered. And I just need to shift it a tiny bit to get the top of that embrace word. Now I'm going to hold this securely and run it through the laminator. And this will, I currently have it set up to the highest temperature it can go. So this is set to a 5 mil laminate pouch, and yeah, because this laminates things as well. So setting it to the 5 mil laminate pouch versus the 3 mil laminate pouch will give you the highest heat. And if I move this into frame, you'll see that I do have the green light, which means it has been preheated as well. So I'll just wait for that to come out. And once it comes out, it's a bit warm to the touch, but it's not too bad. So I'm just going to see, so here you can see that the printer ink from the back of my sticker paper had melted, and that's why I have those lines there. But no worries. So this is pretty much cool to the touch now, and I'm just going to peel this off. So this is interesting. I actually have a bit of foiling around like where the edge of this foil sheet is. So you can see some marks there, and then there are some stray marks around here. This is with the Maco brand, so this is the matte one. But the way I'm going to use this is, I'll just grab some scissors. and trim around this image. And this is how it would appear like if you were using, like if you bought this sticker on a sticker sheet, it would come like this as well. Like it wouldn't be a square shape, it would just kind of be trimmed around the word. So I'm just gonna carefully trim around this shape. And I am really impressed that it did foil really well. And that way you can't really see any of the messy bits that were on this scrap. So I'm just going to grab my planner. This is just my monthly calendar, and it's just going to go in the front here. Actually, yeah, I think I want it to go in the front here, just as a kind of test. So peel off the backing. I don't think it left me with, no, it didn't leave me with the slit behind that I like to use to peel it. So I will use my tweezers again. So you can see from the back that it had printed out black, but then on the nice side, it is a nice gold, which is really, really cool. I want it, do I want it here? Sure. And I'm a bit worried about the burnishing. So in the past, when I had burnished, like I wonder if this foil will scratch off, but it's just my planner. Let's just go for it. So that is pretty good. If you look closely, you can see some scratch marks. So I would probably suggest maybe not burnishing down that hard, but that is really cool that I now have a custom foil quote in my planner. So let's try these with the silver foil. And these ones are the deco foil from iCraft. When you're doing foiling techniques with the laser printers, you have to make sure that your deco foils or whatever foils you have are good for using with laminators or liquid adhesives and things like that. So it can't be a heat activated foil, which you know, like it might not seem like it makes sense because this is heat and we're applying heat to it. But when they have foils that are specific for like a heat transfer foil, for example, the ones that Silhouette makes, or what other brands are there? Let me just go check mine. So I think mine is a Silhouette brand that I use with my foil quill. Those ones are heat activated and they won't work with the laminator because the laminator I don't think applies enough heat to do those heat foils. So just an FYI on that. So let's pull out one sheet. And I am going to have to trim this smaller as well. And again, we want the pretty nice side facing up and then the matte kind of grayer side facing down. And let's just run these through. So this one here is the Neato sticker paper, and it's interesting that it's kind of stuck to, like the printer paper has kind of stuck to the sides of the sticker paper where it's exposed. So I am a bit worried that this isn't gonna come off. Okay, so it looks like the Neato sticker paper melts a lot more than the Maco one does. So that's why I have all of this stray extra bits of foil around where my words are. But you can see that with the words, it did foil completely where it was supposed to. So I wonder if I cut this out, maybe it will just kind of look like a grungy type quote. Let's try that. Before we stick this onto my album, I'm just going to try this one on the Maco and just see how that one works. So again, you'll notice that the toner had stuck on the printer paper, the carrier sheet a bit, but that doesn't really matter because ideally you would not have some printed text on the back of your sticker paper. But here's the reveal for the Maco. And again, I do notice some foiling on the very edges, but other than that, the middle part looks quite clean. So I'm going to trim this out, and this I feel like is a usable piece. So this one I want to go in my third album, which is this one here. Let's keep this on for now. So I want this to be right in the center of my title page. Whenever I have albums, I do make sure I have a piece of acetate here to make sure that nothing on the front page transfers to my album cover, and then vice versa, nothing on my album cover transfers to my first page. So I'm okay with that. So I'm actually not going to burnish this down because I am a bit worried about the foil coming off, but you can see that I now have a quote on the front of my album. Now to figure out if I want to use this grungy looking one. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It kind of looks cool. I think I'm going to go with it. Just to avoid wasting this sticker paper. Not that it was crazy expensive, but you know, I just don't like to waste things, and this looks okay. So that turned out a bit crooked, but I still like how it looks, actually. That kind of looks cool. You can see me, look. I'm wearing my pajamas right now, so. So there are some applications of how you can use the clear sticker papers in other ways besides adding journaling to your projects. So I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration. I would definitely recommend, if you are doing any foiling, to use the Maco, which is the matte one, as opposed to using the Neato, which was the glossy one, because the Neato does tend to melt a bit more, and I think that's why the foil transferred in some areas where I didn't want it, whereas the Maco brand, I feel like, was a lot cleaner of an image. You can see the comparisons here. And here are some photos that I took of what the sticker paper looks like on the journaling cards, as well as what my foiling experiments ended up looking like. And I purposely left the glare in the photos of the Neato sticker paper so that you can see the differences between that brand and the Maco brand as well. I did notice later on that there were parts of my silver quotes that didn't foil as well. Just as an FYI, you can fix it by running it through the laminator again, but I can't do that now that they're stuck to the albums, of course. Thanks again to everyone who requested this video. I hope you found this helpful, and I'd really appreciate a thumbs up on this video if you did. If you have any additional questions or any other requests for videos, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and make sure to subscribe for more crafty videos. Thanks so much for watching.